Today's ridiculous again. Oh, over and over again. Retards. Willingly retarded people. Insane retarded people. People are like, no one's the believer. Okay, we're going to put it this way. No officer, no agent, no man, no lady, no Steve, no Kurt, no Chris, no Mark, no Christine, Henry. I told you about the weird guy. They said a Terrence, and then an African American man jumped out of a shoe aisle. You know my name, you know my name. You don't quit praying about everything. I'll make you stand somewhere for 8 hours so you can't pray anymore. I ignored him. He's weird. Didn't talk to him. Besides saying, excuse me and thank you for opening the door, I didn't talk to people. Will told me to trust no man, and I took that one to heart. Okay? I've never talked to anybody. I've never been formally accused for nothing. No officer, no agent, nobody came talk to me. Not even a little bit. This is where it gets right down to the law. Nobody came talk to me. I had bruises all over me. And I thought it was from moving wood. And here the church people in Dave were drugging me and telling me to say whatever it is. And yeah, it's that bad. And then they'd say, well, they say they gave you amnesia drugs, told you to say gay sick stuff. They told you to say this. They told you to say that. Those bruises were from them abusing you, from choking you, from doing this, doing that. Well, I had bruises everywhere. And then after I called the FBI and I talked to Will on September 27th, 2018, he activated the men on the 28th. They started breaking in and I'd wake up. Sometimes I thought I heard footsteps and then I'd go quiet and I thought, well, that's my imagination. Roll over and go back to sleep and I had black and blue marks on my legs. I had up to 8 bruises one time. And they were lying in Walmart. They had sodium pentothal reports. Okay? They don't use it. Sodium pentothal, false confession, sodium pentothal. Google it. Questioner gets what it wants, right or wrong. You'll say yes to anything. Falsely confessed down the board. Illegal sodium pentothal. FDA prohibits any use in humans and not to be brought in the United States. Lethal sodium pentothal is used in lethal injections in anthrax. They're not going to give you a lethal injection to make you say yes to anything. They have blamed the FBI for everything. They walked around Walmart. The case is called Karen's Will Agency. So I thought it was the FBI. It wasn't. It was a dirty undercover police from Ravenna doing it. And Judge Pete, it looks like a little Santa Claus. Long white beard, mustache. His picture was hanging on the wall on 9/18/19. It said Peter something, Judge Peter something. I've seen him around me for like 3 years. Last time I seen him was right before Christmas. He was outside my client's old apartment at 4805 Cleveland Avenue, pulled up in a beat-up truck with some guy and said, I told you it's not funny, what's going on? He said, well, I seen what they did to her head. The chip. And he left. Okay? Murder is murder. It don't matter if you put a chip in somebody and leave it in too long. And it doesn't matter if you use arsenic or a bullet. Murder's murder. Right? Extortion is extortion. Drug and kidnapping is drug and kidnapping. Rape and torture is rape and torture. And pretending you're FBI and you're not is a big no-no too. Hear them outside? They're not funny. Day and night, they follow me. They scream stuff. You know, they have my apartment bugged. I don't know where the cameras are. And it's like being a caged animal of them watching their victim as they torture and torment day and night. They think they're funny. They're sick on Satan levels. They even sold the app to the neurochip to even kids. Seen some little kid with it when I went to go over and say something to that Terry. She looked at her phone and said, oh my goodness, she's going to say something to that lady. I know, nobody thinks it's funny what's going on. Neurochips are real. If you put paralyzed man plays video game with brain chip. Paralyzed man uses computer with brain chip. It comes up with the one that they speak and talk through the cell phone. Today, some idiot was playing with it. I had this overwhelming thought. And it's like, no, that never happened. And it's just like, God. And I go outside. Some guy's like, she answered my question. He said that's why she had that feeling. I know it. They can send false pulses. They can do everything. It feeds back. It's a cell phone. It's used for paralyzed patients. 1221 in the neck at the refrigerator. I have a big dent in my skull. They blame the FBI at Altman Hospital. March 13, 21 at 2:53 p.m. that the agency did it. They didn't do it. It was a dirty undercover police abducting me from my home and doing illegal surgery. It was their dirty agent, another dirty agent that had raped and tortured me, bragged he was FBI. He drove a dark gray truck, white, bald, dark eyes, 6 foot, 200 pounds, along with a stalker and old fat white man. That's how much they're wrapped up in this. I don't think these people are funny. My one friend Walter works for the prosecutor's office. He talked to a real agent. He said none of this bad stuff was them. It's up to the police to arrest them. If they don't want to take care of it, they will. They need to. They're so stupid around here. Now, the FBI does not set up their surveillance vans. FBI surveillance van. Wi-Fi. Yeah, it comes up. I did a couple screenshots. 5 judges, when I did conflict of interest, destroyed 41 lives. Had them raped, framed, everything. Before they were stopped. 41. Six to 20 years. 139 didn't excuse themselves for conflict of interest. That's a 10-year sentence or $1 million fine. They think they're funny. I can give you all the people that knew Melissa's kids were lying. They made up a mean game of pretend on Thanksgiving of 18. Maslin, police will verify it. They watch it from a Maslin because they take care of Dixie. Flora ratted them out October 23rd, 2019 of the mean game of pretend. They already came up and told me they found him lying. And they interviewed my whole family and they spoke highly of me. They better almost died for him. Dave said he was going to kill them all. And he was trying to kill me to get everything. This is their permanent plan to do away with me. The fucking shit my family should be ashamed of me and jokes. Hear them outside and stay a night. They drive by my new client's apartment. They show up and yell stuff in stores. I was in Walgreens last week getting a COVID virus shot. Some lady bent down and said, I see her today. They just want her to die for her, don't they? I don't think so. I go to walk out after the shot. There's a guy at the door. He said, what were they caught stating? He said they made everything up. They did. I can go through Mentor's closet. Lady walked in. I found out those kids made everything up. I told these boys to stop saying stuff to her. And then in Plato's closet in November, what was it, the 2nd or 9th, at between 2 and 2:45, that they gave her amnesia drugs she'll never remember. Huntington Bank, I don't want Melissa getting any money out of this. That's okay. They knew they made everything up. They just didn't want anybody to help her. The toxic water lady that was mocking me for the 2 clips together, March 2nd to 3rd. Now my car's bugged. They sold the login to everything. They're going to put 2 clips together and put her in a porn. And then all of a sudden you're supposed to be weird with yourself and that. And I'm like, I'm not weird with myself. Well, you did this. And I'm like, I don't do that. And then I'm thinking, when do you touch shower? Went outside, guys were laughing. She figured out what they did. December 9th, I was at the hunger task force. There was a bald guy with dark eyes. I had seen him in the case. He came out and said, it makes my stomach turn to see her in a place like this. He said, we always knew those tapes before were them, not her, so we didn't say anything to her. Okay. On December 9th at 4 p.m., Ed, the maintenance man at Oakland apartment, had made fun of me for the tapes before, was on the phone and had his head away from me. The tapes before were them, not her. Wow, what's going on? It's a group of men doing as many crimes as they can to see if someone will actually stop them. Well, a few days later, they're all driving around the apartment building, screaming. Older African-American man came up and said, I found out what's going on. She's scared to death of these people. He said, I know. I told him that the tapes before were them, not her. And it's just a bunch of men doing crimes. He said that's what the guy at the Hunger Task Force told him. Okay? There's an African-American woman in November makes up a lie about the weird with yourself and, bragging she's going to extort money. And she shows back up in December. It's like December 2nd at Save-A-Lot. I have to check the time and date. The lady said, it's not funny. I heard those kids made all that up. And she said, yeah, I know we're not supposed to say anything to her. I was in Walgreens, what was it? Oh, the last of December in Maslin. There's two old ladies that have helped watch me. They show up a few places here and there. And they said, it's funny, her family actually did speak highly of her. June 23rd, I'm in Walmart 62. Some investigators followed me around for years. I'm in there 10, 15 days before and after. What are these people talking about? We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She never hurt anyone. They're loud, aren't they? I'm back by the paint aisle. Oh my goodness, the boys had a drugger to make her say that stuff. Nobody mentions those tapes again. Oh, if you go to before April of 19, there's an older white guy, black hair, baseball hat, dark eyes, sits next to me. It's me and my men that question you, and that's why you have bruises. I thought, who the hell are you? And I walked off. You can't break in some lady's house, stab her with a needle, tell her to say something stupid. They had me so drugged up there, I was losing 5 to 7 pounds a week. 5 to 7 pounds a week. It was that bad. Dave had beat me with internal injuries. I have swelling and a damaged ribcage. Is he in jail? No. Did he do it in front of the police up there? Yeah. Did I report it? Yeah. Did they arrest him? No. Is it state law he goes to jail? Yes. Well, they arrest him? No. Why? Why? Because he dates Judge Pete's daughter, Michelle. For it's my daughter they did all this for. He met Raven in a store when she was having a stomach spell. It's for my daughter they did all this for, and our family watching her doing this. And for who's Karen's rich boyfriend but the state of Ohio who protects her? A white woman with an African-American man standing at the food counter of Walmart 62 Memorial Day weekend 2019 yelling it out. And I'm clear to the register. They found it. I was in Fine Arts and Lasers last month, in December. We found the tape of that idiot woman bragging they did all this for her daughter. Yeah. Now, they leave people's names I've never met. No man. Will I play FBI? I don't know what this is with man, but no man's ever talked to me. No lady either. I've never been formally accused or charged. You can't set up tiny cameras and watch somebody in their home because Dave fucks Judgy daughter. They showed up in November. There's a lot more going on down here than fucky Judge daughter. It's an extortion ring. Murder, rape, drug, illegal surgeries run out of that courthouse. They made comments last year. If it was anybody else, they'd be in jail on crimes they didn't commit. And Kurt, do you think it's funny framing an innocent woman? And if it was anybody else, they'd be in jail on crimes they didn't commit. They almost got away with it till they started bragging. They're not funny. They're monsters and demons of hell, and these people aren't smart enough to be afraid of them. Yeah, they're not smart enough to be afraid of them. They're not FBI. They're just a bunch of rogue drug killers, rapists, and murderers, and illegal surgeries, putting them behind a badge, in a robe, and a dirty attorney, in it with a killing group. And they're, an extortion group. And they're not smart enough to be afraid of them. And they're pretending they're FBI. I feel bad. They kept saying agency this, agency that, and I thought, why are the guys mean? And it wasn't the guys. They told, and some guys over at my new apartment, client's apartment, next house over, they said they lied to her and told her it was the FBI so she wouldn't trust them. I feel bad. I thought it was them. I thought, why are you being mean? I asked you for help. And it wasn't them. And the whole time, some guy had yelled out before this. She didn't realize it was the boys in the courthouse doing it to her. The boys in the courthouse cannot do this. Matter of fact, legally, they couldn't even work the case. Because then we stayed out the gunshot night because Dave's girlfriend's prettier. Local prostitute. Judge Pete's supposed to get me for insulting this baby girl. He can fuck himself. These people are not smart enough and no IQ between their head to be afraid of these people and to turn them in like crazy. Because what's going to stop them from doing it to them? Tell you what, the FBI needs to get down here because who's going to arrest a judge? Who's going to arrest dirty cops? It's the police's job to do it. But those police up there aren't going to do a damn thing. Not a damn thing. They're all in on it. Now, I've never talked, besides excuse me and thank you for opening the door, I never talked to the police up there. I went in and reported Dave, and you know what they did? They blamed it on the FBI and told me to hold them accountable. That's the only time. I reported Dave to Abigail Watkins, and a lady officer walked me out and blamed it on the FBI and hold them accountable. And it was them. You like that one? That's the only time I had that, and I went up to report Dave to the sheriffs. They didn't want to hear it. And there's real cases. And they didn't arrest him for nothing. And I have proof that he beat me. And I have proof of other things.